live at 5.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover. 2021 is on track to be the deadliest year for police officers and first responders, and COVID-19 is said to be the reason. According to the Officer Down Memorial page on the web, police deaths are up 8% over this time last year. Liam Collins joins us live in the studio with this story. Liam.
And Greg, 2020 was already by far the deadliest year on record for police officers, mostly because of this. As of last year, 370 police deaths last year, 243 of them were from COVID-19. And so far this year, departments have already reported 167 COVID-19 related deaths among officers, a testament, police say, to the risk officers face every day on the job.
It's been a minefield.
A minefield of navigating public and COVID safety. That's how Collegedale Lieutenant Jamie Heath is describing policing his home city during the pandemic.
Most of the threats from COVID and the pandemic to law enforcement is when they bridge that 9-foot gap, when they are in close proximity.
A threat posing more dangers than anything else to his brothers and sisters in blue. He sees it every day. The Officer Down Memorial page records police officer deaths, and it shows COVID-19 is killing more officers than anything else.
It's just like a member of your family, and that's what we are. And it's more than just police officer or the blue family. It's anybody in emergency services.
410 officers have died from COVID since the pandemic began. That's more than half of the over 650 law enforcement deaths reported since then, posing a heightened threat to officers who respond to a variety of calls every day.
We had a call a couple of weeks ago where that officer had to deliver CPR to a COVID positive patient. So obviously you've got a first person exposure there that you've got to deal with.
When that happens, Heath says, that officer is typically separated from the rest of the crew. But regular policing protocols, he says, keep officers much further away than 6 feet from potential threats as is.
The closer you get, the more the threat, can potentially become. So in that regard, the virus and the distancing has actually worked to kind of help keep our officers safe.
Keeping them safer so they can keep their community safer too.
The officers are still committed to providing the same quality of service that they have always provided pre-pandemic.
46 officers from Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, and Alabama have died from COVID. Organizers with the Officer Down Memorial page are pushing vaccines for officers, saying that is just as important as wearing your vest or your seatbelt.